I'm going to warn you right now,
Uh-huh.
everyone who is listening and everyone who is watching this, there will be spoilers for Star Wars Andor. It's just going to come out. So if you don't want to listen to spoilers, you don't want to hear any spoilers, stop listening at this point. I urge you, I beseech you. We'll also do this as a separate video as well.
Yeah.
So just to let you know, welcome to our coverage on Star Wars Andor, the first 3 episodes.
Yes.
And just to reiterate, spoilers.
Yes.
Thoughts?
We're gonna spoil the shit out of it.
Absolutely.
And you can say you can now officially
that's
shit
now
in
canon.
Star Wars.
Yes.
That's
now
canon.
bastards.
Get out of it.
And bastards.
Those
Well,
also
that's
bastards.
just a
Shitting
I found
bastards.
it right. I found that a wee bit odd actually. I thought he just said shit in Star Wars. Surely they've got a Star Warsian version of
Poodoo.
Thank Farrick.
Poodoo-esque.
Aye, they do. Poodoo. Although that would have sounded too
It just okay.
daft.
So you know how the new movies, the Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker, they're not for us. Clearly, those movies are not for us. They're to bring new fans into the franchise, and we all understand that. Whether we like the movies or not, we all understand that. This is not, as George Lucas would say, Star Wars is for kids. This is not for kids.
No.
Like, they're not going to get the themes. They're not going to. They're not going to sit through it. I don't think. I'm going to hand it over to Jody, and he's going to say, "Well, Danny left within 5 minutes."
Danny left within 5 minutes. No, he didn't. He watched the full thing. He watched the full first episode.
He's not coming back though, is he?
He's not coming back
yet.
for it.
Not yet.
Danny's 11, and he's not coming back for it. I watched the other 2 episodes. Obviously, I just watched the whole thing back to back, like a movie. And I know you were slagging me off for saying, "Oh, you know," because I said it was like a kind of complete thing. But I think now you've seen all 3, you kind of know what I mean. The fact that it was the kind of
the intro.
So
the first
kind of his introduction, and the Skarsgård actor's introduction, and that's them off.
Luther Rail is the character's name that's played by Stellan Skarsgård.
Do you know it was really well. I think everybody's kind of applauding it and things like that, and saying it's one of the best Star Wars things that's not really not get any of the Star Wars tropes in it at all.
No.
There's no stormtroopers so far. There's no lightsabers. There's no Jedi. There's not, and yet it completely works as a Star Wars show. And do you know what I loved about it? Though I loved the fact that it had the kind of him now and him as a kid, and it kind of flashed between the two. I think that really worked for me, and those 3 episodes really hung well together. You know, as a full kind of story.
Those flashbacks to compare them with Book of Boba Fett, I felt not that I hated the flashbacks because I liked the whole banter and that kind of thing. It was fun, but I felt like in this show in Andor, those flashbacks work better to sort of tell the story of Cassian Andor and how he got to where he currently is. And so there wasn't as much as a sort of like, oh, this is happening in the past and now it's happening in the future kind of thing, or now it's happening in the present, I should say. But it was still good to see, like, he would go out of consciousness, he would sleep, maybe dreaming about, seeing his sister again, or the last time, the last day that he saw her, which is really what the flashback is. Yeah,
I mean, the opening, the whole opening scene was reminiscent of the opening scene of Rogue One. It showed how ruthless he is. Andor is, Cassian Andor is. Yeah. Those 2 annoying guys in the bar, and he doesn't think twice about killing the 2 of them.
Yeah.
The stakes in this one are obviously a lot lower, but they're still quite high. But he still shoots that guy in the face.
I know, exactly.
That shows you what he's prepared to do with low stakes.
Yeah.
He still wants the job done. He still believes in it, and he's just He does not want to get caught. He's like a frightened thing. And like if you are frightened and you need to survive, what are you willing to do?
Yeah,
that's in him. If he's going to do that for that, he's definitely going to do it for like 8 of the galaxy.
Exactly.
Again, so that scene the scene we're talking about is that the Cassian Andor goes to find information about his sister. So he goes to this
brothel,
effectively, but it's inside. It's run by corporate. So the planet is run, or the system is run by a corporation, and the corporation makes something, I don't know what, for the Empire, and they've got like a contract with the Empire. But the thing is, that's not told. That's what you understand from the actions of what happens.
Because it gives us a bit, the audience of,
Yeah, it doesn't spoon feed you all this stuff. And it's the same thing with the guys in the bar. So he goes into the brothel and he asks a question about the sister, and they make a big thing about, hey, we were here first. And it's like, what you laughing at, and just being dickish the whole time he's there. And then they sort of chase him when he leaves the place, catch up with him and try and rough him up a bit and try and basically embezzle, steal money from him.
Big Blade Runner vibes off that opening.
Yeah. Because it's raining as well.
Yeah.
But that whole thing is, the whole setup in the bar is also to show how much of a dick these guys are. And it's all implied. It's not, it's show don't tell. That's what I love about this show. And it's the first thing you see is this big industrial complex thing with a brothel in it. So clearly it's like a company town. It's like, Buena Vista or whatever it is in Reedy Creek or whatever it is in Disney, which is kind of funny in itself because it's owned by Disney. Not that they've got a brothel there, but it's that kind of idea, is that you've got this company town, and then they sort of bring the entertainment, even though they're not supposed to have it there. It's still there, but it's tolerated by this company because they know that people need an escape.
Yeah. I mean, the whole look of the show is much more cinematic than anything that they've done
100%
previously with Mandalorian and Obi-Wan and Boba. You can just tell that they've not used. I think they have used the volume slightly in a couple of scenes maybe, but most of it's
not many.
It's location shots or it's real sets, and it just.
I think the volume felt like it was used at the yard.
Yeah.
If it was going to get used, and I do recall seeing stills from the set and thinking it didn't look great, but seeing now the finished product, it looks great.
I know.
Yeah, because you get the kind of half aerial shot, and it just looks this whole bunch of plyboard stuff, and you're like,
yes, exactly.
And then you see it, and it's just all this kind of grimy brickwork and everything.
Yeah, but it's amazing.
They've made it look great.
I mean, they probably use like the modern matte painting, whatever the equivalent is now, to fill in, lots of bits, and the green screen that you see, and it just looks fantastic. It just looks fantastic, and the writing is just like you say, Sloan. it's like show not tell type stuff. So you're really getting a vibe of the audience are an intelligent bunch that are watching it, so we can work it out, what they're trying to convey. But it's really well written that way as well, because and the characters, so the setup for a lot of the characters just now as well, and we're going to care when one of those people is going to die probably, and we're going to care about it because those 3 episodes really set up brilliant. And I'm glad they put all 3 episodes on as well, instead of just 1, because I'm greedy for it. But yeah, I'm glad they put all 3 on, because it did kind of, like I say, have a
the wee droid's nice.
Story. I love the droid.
He's great.
I thought I'd hate it, but I love him.
He's got his own wee quirk.
He's got a wee stutter.
He's vulnerable.
I love him. And the bit when he's getting told to lie, lie about something because Andor's obviously programmed to lie for him and stuff like that, and he's running out of memory of lies that he's been telling.
But it was kind of Vincent vibes as well.
Yeah,
yes,
from
you said that. I said it the other
night. His little because you see him later on in a flashback when what's her name, Marva, first encounters Cassian, or Kassa as he's called, and as the alphas call him. And you see that it's this beautiful box-shaped robot, and it's perfectly fine, but now it's all been kind of knocked about. So when he lifts his visor up, it's slightly twisted down on one side and things.
Yeah,
it's really believable, the fact that this thing's been through the war, not through the actual wars. But
didn't Cassian have to rescue something?
He kind of pulls like a kind of sliver of something. He's like, "What's that?" And it just kind of shows that he kind of cares for the robot as well.
That droid's attitude, though, it's quite similar to
K2SO. So I thought about this as well. I thought maybe it's that's the way that he programs his droids.
Aye. They're a little bit
that kind of sarcastic, kind of back chat type.
Yeah.
So what's the name of the robot from the black hole?
It's Vincent.
By the way, it doesn't kind of look like him. It is actually Vincent.
Yeah.
There's no way they were thinking of anything else but Vincent.
Full circle, because Disney made that movie because Star Wars was popular, so they made that.
There you go.
In 1979.
It is 100% Vincent.
Sorry, I do apologize. Vincent is what B2EMO used to look like. Bob is what he currently looks like. So if I share this, there's Bob on the left-hand side. That's Bob there, and that's Vincent.
That was the first thing I watched in Disney Plus. Because I had not seen it for years and years and years, and I thought, right, I'm watching that because I had kind of a vague memory of it, because you and I slowly went to see it in the cinema.
We did, yeah.
But we kind of came away thinking, nah. And I kind of came away thinking the same thing, actually.
Yeah, I think it was one of the first things I watched in Disney Plus as well, and I was like, geez, this is not a good movie.
No. It's got great ideas in it as well. It could be good, but I think it's just dated. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like the special effects are...
Star Wars hasn't dated the way that has,
Yeah. I remember watching that and being like scared of Maximilian.
Yeah.
I'm like, genuinely.
That was the last movie. That was the last movie made by a studio that did all the effects in house.
No way.
There you go. Fact. Watch the extras.
Fact bomb.
Should we talk about some of the people that they meet? So the Primor guys. The first ones you meet are Chief Hind, played by Rupert Van Sittart, who's no stranger to television and movies in the UK. Classic kind of British character actor. And he plays the chief, and he basically says to young Cyril, who is obviously a sort of a go-getter, who's like redone the piping of his uniform and sort of made it slightly tighter, because everybody else has got like, oh yeah, that'll fit type stuff, and he's like tailored it to fit him.
I think he's going to be an interesting character, actually.
He's the kind of Dwight Schrute of this organization. And so the boss says to him, he says, look, it's two guys, they were in the wrong part of town at the wrong time, let it go.
Just drop it.
Just make up something, nothing fancy, don't give them a parade, just make up a story. And he doesn't. And he's like, no, this guy killed two of our guys, I'm going to go after him. And so he's the one that's got this vendetta against this unknown suspect, and that's who's going against it. But what we noticed, all three of us, because we were talking about it in Messenger, was that this part of the galaxy is where all the Scottish people are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you've got
planet miserable.
Because it's raining.
you get the Scottish actor Alex Ferns that's in it. The chunky one.
Yep.
He's those two characters.
He plays Sergeant Linus Mosk.
Yeah, those two characters are so interesting You know, both kind of obviously ambitious, but those type of ambitious guys that are probably not going to go anywhere because of their attitude.
Rebellion is fomenting.
You know?
Pockets of rebellion.
Aye.
Fomenting, sir.
I'm finding those two characters really interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a good ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Aye.
I at the end of the third episode, I'm thinking to myself, he's going to have a considerable amount of paperwork to fill in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hope he's brought both pens.
Yeah. So they decide to go down to the planet. Think they're going to kick ass, and that does not happen.
It doesn't go well.
Yeah. I love that line. You know, when the everybody's kind of knocking bells and things like that.
Yeah.
And the actress, the older lady,
Fiona Shaw.
Yeah, and she says, "Aye." She says, "It's not when the bells start that you need to worry about; it's when they stop." You're like, "Oh God, what's going to happen?" You know. Yeah. That's really good. She's great. Actually, I love her.
So a couple of things to note. It was obviously it was a lot more adult. There was the brothel.
Yeah.
There's the implied sex scene.
Yep.
We've not really ever had the implied sex scene before.
No, not at all.
There's the use of shit, the use of words, the word shit and bastard.
Mm-hmm.
There are obviously shoot someone point blank in the face.
Yeah.
Yep. And it just feels super miserable / adulty. Gritty. Sorry, should have said miserable. Gritty is better.
Yeah.
And for that, I commend them.
Yeah.
I think it's a bold move, Cotton. I don't know. I'm not sure how many people are watching, because I was watching X clips or maybe it was X or I can't remember which one it was, or Bombastic clips, whatever it was. They were saying that viewership is not as strong as it's been for previous Star Wars shows.
But I don't think it needs to be, because
for Andor, yeah, but yeah,
but the word will get round, and people that don't normally watch Star Wars will watch this, I think.
Because do you know what happens though? It's the people who are actually paying the Disney Plus bill are the ones that might actually just be watching this.
Yeah. So there's going to be 2 seasons of it. So there's 12 episodes per season, 24 episodes. It's going to span.
Who's the writer? Because he was heavily involved in Rogue One.
Yeah. Tony Gilroy.
Yeah. I heard a thing.
He's the show runner.
Showrunner.
Yeah.
They said that they wanted a lot of practical effects, and they wanted practical sets, and they wanted to be out in the open and in the elements and make it feel epic.
Word is, by the way, that Tony Gilroy pretty much did Rogue One, but it's a kind of unsaid thing.
Yeah.
Because
you heard it here first, folks.
The credit goes to Gareth Edwards directing it, but Tony Gilroy really came in and went, "I need to fix all this," you know. So the word is that he really was the guy, and he ended up really loving the characters. He's not a big Star Wars guy, but he loved the characters, and he thought, I think he's the one that pitched the idea for it to be a show or a prequel anyway, and then it's turned into a show. So,
do you think? I think I've asked this before, but I mean, we're not getting a lot of Star Wars movies. I mean, with Patty Jenkins one got cancelled recently. Taika Waititi thing's up in the air. The Rian Johnson thing's not happening. Obi-Wan was supposed to be a movie. It's not a movie.
Yes.
Book of Boba Fett was supposed to be a movie. It's not a movie. All of these things. Do you think that maybe Disney has now found a niche for Star Wars, which is epic television, but not necessarily epic movies?
Yeah, I think they're learning every time they do one of these shows as well. And I think that now that the Andor is coming out, imagine if they'd done Obi-Wan filmed like that, without as much volume as they had. I wonder if it would have been a bit more epic. It was still pretty epic, though. God, I did love it.
What is it going to take for Star Wars to get back into the cinema?
I know, that's a good question.
Because they are, for them to be in the cinema, they would, all the shareholders and all the people at the top, for them it has to be a $2 billion movie.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, it
and
has to beat everything else.
What does that look like?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that will come. There's no way in God's green earth they are forgetting that.
I think what they need to do is go to the origins of the Sith and the origins of the Jedi. You know, back to the kind of what is it? Is that the Old Republic time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that not where the Acolyte is? Is that not where that is?
Is it?
I think Acolyte's back then.
Oh, is it?
I think it's
right.
back at
the
TV
series.
Yeah.
I hope they give it as much gravitas
well.
as this Andor thing. Then you know, and they don't just have a load of kids. But then I think Skeleton Crew's a bit kids, Star Wars kids plus Doctor Who like Jude Law.
The Skeleton Crew thing. I don't know why, but the shot they gave of Jude Law. It feels. Do you remember that? God, what was it? Captain Cosmic and whatever it was, and they had like cartoon backgrounds and live action on the BBC.
He was in that. That was Jude Law that was in that movie.
Oh no, not Sky Captain. The World of Tomorrow, not that one. But yeah, very similar to that, where it was like a kind of cartoon background, and then they were superimposed over the top of it.
What, a different, not Sky Captain?
No, is the BBC did this because Sky Captain reminds me of that.
Don't know.
Anyway,
yes,
yeah, Skeleton Crew again, probably not for us. But then again, Bad Batch isn't for us. I think. I don't think.
But it is definitely for us.
But I still liked it.
It does feel like it's for us. Maybe they found the cross. Maybe Dave Filoni's found the secret sauce where there's a crossover. Maybe Mandalorian as well.
Yeah. I liked Bad Batch much more than I thought I would. I must admit.
Yeah.
Apart from obviously the blonde.
Omega.
Yeah, you know I hated that character.
By the way, at that comic book convention today, there were a lot of her action figures.
You're joking.
The price was slashed.
Was it really? Yeah. Really?
That makes Judy happy.
I didn't even know she was I didn't know she was an action figure.
And the Black Series as well.
I've got a funny feeling she might make an appearance as a live action character in Book of Boba Fett season 2.
Are we getting a season 2? Is that official?
Sure, why not?
Hopefully,
have one. Well, we're getting. So the last season of Mandalorian is the last season of the next season is going to be the last one.
What?
And then
season 3.
He's dying. Then I'm just saying this right now.
What, the season 3 and that's it? 3 seasons of Mando.
So. Yeah.
I seriously doubt it. That's Disney Plus's premium ticket.
They can't keep it going though.
Not forever.
The first is that he's already working season 4, which essentially serves as a confirmation that the series will return for 4th season. Not maybe not then.
Aye. Grogu is, Well, somebody did a Photoshop of Walt Disney with the statue, Walt Disney in Disneyland, and he's got his hand down by his side, and Grogu is in the statue.
Oh, really?
It's like it looks like him standing with Grogu, and it's a metal statue.
So apparently
pretty cool. Oh, hey.
Sorry.
I
was going to say that in Batu, which is the Disney World Disneyland thing, they're introducing the Mandalorian and Grogu in there as live action characters that you can interact with, like Chewie and Rey. And I feel this is confirmation that the sequels will be slowly phased out in favor of Mandoverse over time, which makes nothing but sense to me because
Well, you didn't have Han Solo and Luke Skywalker dotting about, did you?
No.
Ever?
No.
So it's always been Rey and Darth Maul, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You've never had a Luke Skywalker and
No.
Han Solo. But they're too iconic. I think there's the kind of holy grail factor that you can't replace them and you can't have, well, we saw it with the Solo movie.
Pretty sure Grogu trumps Rey in popularity.
Definitely.
Yeah, totally.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, I know little girls
draw
similarity.
You guys draw similarities. The rainy scenes from Andor and some of the opening scenes from the Solo, a Star Wars story. I don't know what planet they were on, but obviously there were two different planets. But kind of those long kind of shots, and it looked like a dock.
Yeah,
in
the Corellia thing.
Aye.
Yeah, it's true actually, because they had those long things that went across water as well, didn't they? Like kind of long pathways,
and it felt dead similar.
Yeah, man, it's a great show. I'm looking forward to number 4, episode 4. How many episodes? 12? Is it
12
Great.
episodes?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And it was filmed in
Scotland,
Lancaster, Morecambe. No,
there was some scenes in Morecambe. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Morecambe and also Pitlochry up that way in Scotland.
Yeah. Didn't everyone go and do like a Super Killer Bros exclusive?
Evelyn did. She took some photographs of a snack bar.
That's a scoop.
I think that was as far as she got. She couldn't get beyond that. The wee snack bar that they had. But yeah, it was Andor, because there was rumours about what movie it was, whether it was Obi-Wan or Andor, because they were kind of filming kind of
back to back,
parallel. But it was Andor. Yeah. And you saw some of those scenes in the I think it was in the second or third episode when the kids are going to find that spaceship that's crash landed. That's a great
failed failed Apollo 11 mission.
I love that scene. It was great.
Guys. It's not that far from Dunkeld. Could have gone up there and visited where they shot the show.
That's right. Oh, you were up that way. That's right.
I was, yeah.
Earlier this year.
Yeah, midway through the year.
Yep.
This was so good. I can't stop thinking about it.
Me neither. And it's always a great sign, isn't it?
Honestly, I mean, it's just, I think if Disney keep making the kind of kids Star Wars, like George Lucas always says, Star Wars is for kids, it's not for adults. And I understand where he's coming from. It's, that he made it as a Saturday morning serial thing. But those kids have grown up. I mean, it's 40 years ago when the first 44 years ago, 45 years ago since the first movie came out. And we're all a wee bit older now, and we still like Star Wars. I didn't mean mentally.
I'm only kidding.
Obviously, physically, we're older. I mean, we're all still, got little toys and all that stuff. And we want something a bit more adult. We want something HBO style Star Wars out there. I mean, we were promised it with like Level 1313 and that failed Star Wars show from God knows when it was, years ago. We've been looking forward to this for ages. It's great, we're getting an adult version of Star Wars.
We're getting brothels in Star Wars. I know. It's not to like.
I noticed this, but I don't know if you guys noticed it, but there was a couple of people smoking death sticks. Yeah, I noticed that as well. So that was tobacco use as well. So.
I'm gonna watch all 3 episodes again before 4 comes out this week. I think just to kind of do it.
I need to watch the next 2 as well. I asked Anne what she thought, and she goes, "Well, that was really good."
Yeah,
but before we first started watching the thing, I was hoping it was going to be like Secret Army. It is.
Yes, for this, that is. Oh, I'm just trying to compare it to all the Marvel TV shows. Oh, it's hard to rate them. It is hard. Yeah. The Book of Boba Fett, I put up. That's my favorite one. I can't get past it. Even though it's got its major flaws, but this is challenging that.
The last episode, I waited so long to watch that last episode of it, and I was like, that kind of like.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. But this might be the one because I love Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One is by far the best Star Wars movie so far since Disney made the purchase. And it's weird the fact that they've never like doubled down on it and said, "Oh, people like that. Let's go and like." How much did it make let's have a look at it.
I don't think that's in the top 50.
Probably not. But I mean, to get into the top 50, you got to like make 800,000 or something.
Now, worldwide, it is, apart from number 50, it needs to be $1 billion.
Dude.
Have I got it wrong?
$1 billion. Oh,
it is in there. So
where is it then? $1 billion club. I don't know.
It must be like 40 or something, or 45.
Yeah.
It's incredibly good.
Let's look.
You need to go to Wikipedia and do the highest grossest movies of all time.
Yeah, I think I can do it from here. Showdowns, indices. Oh, there you go. So bad robot. Okay.
See that? I just noticed there that it says like Lucasfilm and stuff like that. It said Tim Burton, Johnny Depp, Alice in Wonderland. As if there's some sort of,
Oh, there you go. It's 15.
Maybe
15th.
What?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It's the 15th highest grossing movie of all time. But this is, see, that's weird.
No wonder that's getting revisited.
Oh, it's domestic. Sorry, worldwide.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Let's see what it says now. 40.
That's 14 worldwide.
40. That's about where I thought it was.
Yeah. But I mean, like the top 10, Furious 7 is the top 10.
I know. Forget it, man.
The Avengers, Lion King, Jurassic World, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Avengers. I mean, okay, let's look at it now. Disney, technically Disney, Sony, Universal, Disney, Universal.
Wow. Got Top Gun Mavericks number 11.
Yeah.
Aye.
I did well.
Done a good job. Cracking movie.
Yeah.
Still not seen it yet.
Disney, Warner Brothers, Disney, Universal, Disney, Universal, Disney. You see the pattern? Universal, Disney.
Wow.
Warner's. Lord of the Rings, that was Warner's, wasn't it?
By the way, why on earth hasn't DC or Warner Brothers done something decent with DC?
I know.
With all that amazing IP, amazing IP.
Do you know the world needs another version of Batman?
The
Batman was really good.
Did the Batman do as well as the Joker, though?
No,
going way off topic here, by the way, but I know. But everybody tuning in for Andor's like, why are they talking about Batman?
The Batman got 770,000.
So it didn't get.
And that's good.
That is
good for a what?
770 million it got worldwide.
That is good for a Warner Brothers movie.
But the Joker was $1 billion movie.
It was.
Got $1 billion, yeah.
Oh, the irony.
Yeah. Oh well. Do we have anything else we want to talk about Andor?
No, sir.
No. Planet Scotland, Planet UK, Planet Miserable.
Planet Scotland, yeah.
Happy with that.
Fomenting, sir. Fomenting. All right. If you got this far and you want to find time reminders of when we put something new up, don't forget to hit the old subscribe button, notification bell. And if you like what you see, like what you saw, let us know. Comment below. What did you think of Kassa and Andor? Is it your favorite? Not so favorite? Let us know in the comments below, and we will read them and reply to them and reply to them, and so forth and such like and whatnot.
Indeed.
But thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.